it represents that over 500,000 professionals in the country and about 32 corporate associations. It was clear? I can start? Let me start now. Can I start? Can I start? Okay. For those who don't know me, if you've got a smartphone, write Felix Okach, you'll see the rest of the details. That's with a light touch. So the association, of course, has got over 500,000 individuals and 32 corporate members, started way back in 1961. And of course, as the chair here, some officials in APSEA are also officials in Public Sector Accounting Board. For information, Rosemary Njogu, please. Rosemary Njogu, Honorary Secretary at APSEA. Dr. Leting, I think, there, Dr. Leting is Honorary Treasurer. I'm Treasurer at APSEA. So that's what we are. Now, Mr. Fred Riaga and your team, I congratulate you for a job well done. In most cases, when you talk about strategy or a plan, biologically, in academics, we talk of academics, we start from the Greek thinking that normally when there is something got to plan, of course, biological is there because there's sui generis. You plan to achieve certain things. So in strategy, we call it the art of the general. So Frederick, this is the art of the general. That's overall objective of what you want to achieve, and then within the framework, there are people doing certain things. So that's what strategy is all about. And of course, you've shown us here your vision, your mission, your core values, and of course, you showed us that you took into account when preparing this strategy, the internal factors, which is SWOT analysis. You also took into account PESTAL, the external factors. So you've done well. Now the next challenge is now implementation and evaluation. And we hope you'll do this well going forward and use the professionals you have in the institution and move ahead. In moving ahead, I didn't intend to say this. In moving ahead, please make sure you resonate with the thinking of the times. Why am I bringing that example? Today, the British Prime Minister was being told to resign. He says he's not quitting, but eventually he'll be voted out, which means he did not resonate with the thinking of the time. In your case, Frederick, it might look easy, but I've seen cases from practical experiences where when you fail to resonate with the time, you are walking alone. And at the end of that, you will not achieve the strategy. We'll come here again to bring another strategy and say, what did we do? So my word is that you've done a good job. Keep it on with your team and make sure you work together and achieve what's required. Thank you very much for this occasion. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much indeed. Resonate with the thinking of the times. Don't walk alone. Beware. Ladies and gentlemen, at this particular moment, let's appreciate the presence of Finance Director, the Central Bank of Kenya, CPA, Dr. Caroline Makola. Makofi yake tafadhali. We also want to appreciate the presence. Okay, 2 minutes, please. Go ahead.
Thank you, Johnson. Just a point of correction. I'm yet to get a doctorate, but I covet the prayers, and we'll get there soon. Representative of the National Treasury, Auditor General, Control of Budget, board members of the PASB, all invited guests, all protocols observed. As he's introduced me, I'm Caroline Makola, Director of Finance at the Central Bank of Kenya, and I'm representing Dr. Patrick Njoroge, the Governor of the Central Bank. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank you, Mr. Fred Riaga, FCPA, and for the rest of your team for inviting us. This is an auspicious occasion, and I'd like to just highlight the fact that we really applaud the work that the PASB actually does in the accounting sector. We have, with a push towards IPSA's accrual, what we are seeing is that there is additional accountability that is required. Public sector government entities use financial statements, and those financial statements are what is used by legislators, the citizenry at large, as well as the auditors, in ensuring that the public entities and the government entities are governed and public resources are appropriately utilized. So of course, for this particular occasion, we are truly, truly happy. And as you go ahead and launch the strategic plan for the next 4 years, we wish you the best. We want to appreciate you for what you had done previously. Achieving 84% of your objectives is quite commendable, bearing in mind the lean team that you work with. So as you move forward, all the best, and please keep doing what you're doing. In conclusion, I just wish to take this opportunity and give you the highest assurances and congratulations from the Governor of Central Bank, Dr. Patrick Njoroge, the Deputy Governor, Central Bank, FCPA, Ms. Sheila Mbinjiwe, and the entire accounting fraternity at the Central Bank. Congratulations and all the best. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much indeed. Keep doing what you are doing. We want to appreciate Capital Markets Authority CEO, FCPA, Wycliffe Shemaya. Makofi yake tafadhali. All right, 2 minutes, please. Karibu sana. Makofi yake tafadhali. Thank you so much. Karibu.
Thank you so much. Our chief guest, the representative of our CS, National Treasury and Planning, Auditor General, Controller of Budget, Chairman, Board, CEO, Public Sector Accounting Standards Board, Chairman present, CEOs, good morning. Ladies and gentlemen, I think ours today is just to appreciate what we see happening today, because in capital markets, we cherish disclosures. And as we speak about standards in public sector, we are using them, and obviously we know we'll have those who are interested in what we do using the same. And therefore, today, I just want to say thank you so much for inviting us to be part of this occasion, and wish you well as you implement your new strategic plan. We work very closely with Public Sector Accounting Standards Board, and ours is to hope, as we look at expanding reporting into environmental issues, we will work very closely in ensuring there is a framework in place to support both government agencies and also private sector. So thank you so much for inviting us here, and we wish you the best. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much indeed. Ensuring there is a framework to support government agencies and the private sector. Excellent. Ladies and gentlemen, up next, 2 minutes.
He is a passionate, high-performing leader with broad managerial experience in leading teams, strategy, finance, business development, innovation, and IT. A solid business executive with the ability to lead and motivate ordinary people to achieve excellence. He is the team leader of the 5th largest professional accountancy organization in Africa and leading in East Africa. Please welcome the Chief Executive Officer at the Institute of Certified Public Accountants of Kenya, ISPAC, CPA, Edwin Makori.
Thank you to the representative of the CS National Treasury, the Principal Administrative Secretary, Mr. Amos Edesha, the Controller of Budget, CPA Dr. Margaret Nyakango, the Auditor General, CPA Nancy Gadungu, Chair of the Public Sector Accounting Standards Board, FCPA Paz Ndwati, the board of the Public Sector Accounting Standards Board, the CEO of the Public Sector Accounting Standards Board, the CEOs present, chairs who are present, representatives from various institutions, good morning. I think mine, from where I sit, is just to be able to appreciate the journey that the Public Sector Accounting Standards Board has gone through to be able to ensure that the public sector is able to disclose, as FCPA Shami has said, giving us the information and being able to interpret this in a manner that can be seen and interpreted the same way across the globe. Because the standards are not just standards that are applicable in Kenya, but are standards that are going to be applicable across the globe. So as we embrace, and I know we are not there as a country in terms of financial reporting, we just are doing the cash accounting and we need to be able to move to accrual accounting. I think the journey that starts with the new strategic plan is just to be able to see ourselves, how do we then get ourselves to accrual accounting, where we'll be able to put everything on our balance sheets and don't worry about end of a financial year where we have to do all transactions before 30th of June. And that will be the joy that we'll have as a country, being able to benchmark ourselves and being able to apply standards that are applicable across the globe. For mine, is just to be able to congratulate the board and management of Public Sector Accounting Standards Board as they launch their second strategic plan. Thank you.
Thank you so much indeed. These are standards that are applicable across the globe, not just in Kenya. For 1 minute, ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause to Mr. Mbuno Yusuf, CEO, NCDF Board. Karibu sana.
Thank you very much, Mr. Makazi. The guest of honor today, the chairman of the Public Sector Accounting Standards Board, the Auditor General, the Controller of Budget, all the chairman of board present here today, the CEOs and their representative, good morning. My name is Yusuf Mbuno, as I told you earlier, and I'm the Chief Executive Officer of the National Government CDF Board. I want to join the rest of the invitees or invited guests to congratulate the Public Sector Accounting Standards Board on this occasion of launching their strategic plan. And we are all beneficiaries of the services of the board, and that's why we are privileged to be here today, because the board, since it was established in about 2014, it has played a key role in enhancing and improving the accounting standards and accountability of funds in the national government and even the county governments. I want to say, and allow me to say, that the National Government Constituency Development Fund Board is one of the key beneficiaries of your services as a board. Mr. Fred Riaga has held our hand to really improve our accountability. We are one very, very unique board, a board that was established, or a fund that was established in 2003, and we have been doing one financial statement submitted to the Auditor General until the year 2013, when the National Government CDF Act was reenacted and made one very unique provision that we are one organization government that every year has to produce 292 financial statements to the Auditor General. 292 between 1st July and 30th September. And that was done to enhance accountability, because we are one fund divided into 290 funds for each constituency. And in order to enhance accountability and to ensure that each constituency strives on its own to improve financial management, the law had to be amended to ensure that each constituency submits a separate financial statement to the Auditor General by 30 September. It's quite an enormous task, but I want to thank the Public Sector Accounting Standards Board because you have not only held our hand, but you have kept on supporting us every year. And every year we meet with your technical officers as we prepare these financial standards, these financial statements, and no single year have we failed to submit our 292 financial statements. 292 because 290 for each of the 290 constituencies, and the National Board has to submit one financial statement for the board itself and another financial statement for the fund. It's quite an enormous task, but we thank you, and that's why we are here today to congratulate you as you launch this strategic plan for your organization, as it will go a long way in improving financial standards in the entire public sector as included. Thank you very much, and may God bless you.
We are all beneficiaries of the services of the Public Sector Accounting Standards Board. Asante sana. Ladies and gentlemen, up next, big round of applause. Controller of Budget, CPA, Dr. Margaret Nyakango. Makofi yake tafadhali. Welcome, welcome.
Chief Guest Representative, representing His Excellency Ambassador Ukur Yatani, Chairman, Public Sector Accounting Standards Board, the CEO, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me a lot of pleasure to be here before you. And I've been reminded that I only have 2 minutes, so I may not go through my whole speech. But as we sit here today, I'm reminded of the biblical story of the talents. I'm sure all of you are aware of this story. Here was a master who was going on a trip, and he gave his servants talents. To one, he gave 1. To another, he gave 2. And to another, 5. And he went on a long trip. When he came back, he brought together his servants and asked them, I gave you so much. What did you do with it? And those who know the story know what happened. That the servant who had 5 talents was able to give a full account of himself, and he had made another 5. Makofi kwa servant number 1. And there was the second one with 2. And he also came and said, Master, I have made another 2. Makofi pia kwake. But there was the third one, ladies and gentlemen, the one who was given 1 talent. His budget was small. That is where I'm headed. And he came back and told the master, Master, I thought you do not reap where you have not sown. And I dug the ground and buried my small budget. So I have brought back the same 1 that you gave me. And the master took the small one and gave the one with who had been given 5, who now got 11 because they had made another 5. Ladies and gentlemen, my job is to dish out the talents. You all have budgets. Some have big budgets, some have small budgets. Today, as we witness the Public Sector Accounting Standards Board launching their strategic plan, they are organizing the way in which the talents that I give you are accounted for. My motto, indeed, is to ensure prudent financial management in the public sector. And my call to all of you today is do not bury your talents. Please use the standards that FCPA RIAGA is going to give us to account and to actually bring more out of the little that I give you from the kitty. With those few remarks, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to congratulate the Public Sector Accounting Standards Board on the launch of their strategic plan and look forward to us taking stock of what they'll have achieved at the end of the period of the strategic plan. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you so much. Use your talents. The big motto, prudent financial management in the public sector. And remember to use the standards. Asante sana. Ladies and gentlemen, the rest of the speakers, please note that the microphone is at your command, so you can move it in whatever way that pleases you, so that we can grasp every bit of what you have to say. Ladies and gentlemen, our next speaker.
She has more than 27 years experience in public sector auditing, quality assurance and information technology audit. She is a certified member and trainer with the Institute of Certified Public Accountants of Kenya, ISPAC, a certified information systems auditor and a member of the Association of Women Accountants in Kenya, where she mentors young lady accountants. Please welcome the Auditor General, CPA Nancy Gadungu.
Thank you very much. For those who recognize that there could be some challenges, the Principal Administrative Secretary, Mr. Amos Njoroge Gadesha, the Controller of Budget, my colleague, CPA Dr. Margaret Nyakango, the Chair of the Public Sector Accounting Standards Board, FCPA Pius Ndwati, the Public Sector Accounting Standards Board board members, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I have to admit that I'm quite excited to be here to celebrate with the Public Sector Accounting Standards Board on achieving this milestone, because from the glance that I had of the strategic plan, if they deliver on that strategic plan, my job is going to be very easy moving forward. I want to extend my congratulations to the board, the senior management and the staff, and all your partners for the development of the plan, which will guide you towards achieving your mandate of safeguarding public interest and ensuring an accountable and transparent public sector. Invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, Chief Guest, my mandate is to audit all entities that receive and manage public resources by confirming that the presentation and disclosures in the financial statements are in line with the laws, the regulations, and the standards set by the Public Sector Accounting Standards Board. So you can immediately see the relationship between the Office of the Auditor General and the Public Sector Accounting Standards Board. As a supreme audit institution, we are also required by the Constitution to confirm whether the entities put those public resources to lawful and effective use, whether the management of the resources impact directly and positively on the lives and livelihoods of the Kenyan people, whether they provide beneficial value, and whether leakages are minimized, if not eliminated. So setting the financial accounting and internal auditing standards, including the formats for presentation and disclosure of both financial and non-financial information, ensures uniformity in reporting by state organs and public entities. But as I said, most importantly, it makes my job easier because it provides me with the criteria with which to measure the performance of the public sector entities. So I want to commend the board for the work that you've been doing. We have seen great improvements in the public sector where financial reporting is concerned. Indeed, when we adopt, because it is not if, it is when, we adopt accrual accounting, we shall see even greater improvements. We have seen even the poll that was taken, if we can call it a poll, there was 99.9% support to move to accrual accounting. That will enhance accountability and transparency in public sector accountability. However, we must say that with regard to the impact of the use and management of public resources on the lives and livelihoods of the citizens, with regard to value for money of the talents that Dr. Margaret Nyakango has been giving us, there are still a lot of gaps that need to be addressed. For the public sector officials, accounting and reporting is critical, and that is why we are here. But positive impact and change for the people is what measures and determines the effectiveness or the scorecard in the public sector. I want to address the strategic objective for internal auditing. This perhaps is one of the most important strategic objectives for this strategic plan we are launching today. If we can develop and strengthen internal audit and the audit committees and ensure that they are supported and facilitated to do their work continuously, if we can ensure that internal audit function is placed strategically within the structure of the public sector entities, then we shall see those remaining gaps closing and we shall see enhanced accountability. I want to assure the Public Sector Accounting Standards Board that they can count on my support and the support of the Office of the Auditor General in checking on compliance by public sector entities with the standards that you set and in providing you with feedback for improvements where necessary. I congratulate you once again. Thank you.
So much. The Auditor General's Office checking for lawful and effective use of public resources, and today's plan forms a criteria for measuring the performance of public entities, and definitely accrual accounting will enhance accountability and transparency in public sector service delivery. Ladies and gentlemen, to usher us now into the chairman's session, please.
He is a trained corporate governance trainer, governance auditor and board evaluator. He has served on many boards including the Institute of Certified Secretaries of Kenya, Kenya National Examinations Council and Academic Board of Kenya Institute of Curriculum Development. He is a fellow of the Institute of Certified Public Accountants of Kenya and the Institute of Certified Secretaries of Kenya. Please welcome Public Sector Accounting Standards Board Chairman, FCPA Pius Mungai Ndwati.
Big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.
The representative of the Cabinet Secretary, National Treasury and Planning, Mr. Amos Njoroge Gadesha, the Auditor General, CPA Nancy Gathungu, the Controller of Budget, CPA Dr. Margaret Nyakango, chairpersons, CEOs and representatives of key stakeholders present, members of the Board of Public Sector Accounting Standards Board, the Chief Executive Officer, management and staff of the board, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Before I make my remarks, I want to take this opportunity to introduce the members of the board of PSASB. and I will request them to be upstanding wherever they are. Okay, the CEO is beckoning that I ask them to come. CPA Edwin Jamura represents the Capital Markets Authority. FCPA Nicholas Leting represents the Association of Professional Societies in East Africa. CPA Whisper or Leak, representing the Institute of Certified Public Accountants. CPA Leonard Okoth, representing the Institute of Internal Auditors. CPA Stephen Masha, representing the Office of the Controller of Budget. CPA Rosemary Jogu, representing the Institute of Certified Secretaries. Last but not least, CPA Mary Kokikimanzi, representing the Intergovernmental Budget and Economic Council, and she's also the CEC Makweni. In absentia, with apologies, CPA Sylvester Gay Kini, representing the Office of the Auditor General. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the board that has taken the leadership of the PSASB, and the board that is promising you to deliver the strategic plan. You have heard, we have been given a coin, and our budget is very small. It's actually a coin, Office of the Controller of Budget. I think we need to have it upped up, but the National Treasury Parent Ministry is here to listen to that. We are going to make sure that we use whatever resources we have in order for us to make the required return. Please appreciate the members of the board. Thank you very much. Everything that I wanted to say has been said. So at the risk of repeating myself, I am delighted to join the board, the CEO and management of the PSASB in welcoming you to this auspicious occasion of the launch of the second strategic plan of the board. As has been explained, the board is a semi-autonomous government agency operating under the National Treasury, under the Public Finance Management Act. The mandate, which has been outlined here before, but repeat, is to provide frameworks and set generally accepted accounting standards for the development and management of accounting and financial systems and internal audit procedures by state organs and public entities as spelled out in Section 194 of the PFM Act. As we all are aware, the strategic plan acts as a beacon to guide an organization in setting its priorities in accordance with its mandate and in resource mobilization and allocation, as well as acting as a performance and evaluation measure. And as you have heard, this being our second strategic plan, the first strategic plan has already been fully implemented. And at the end of the implementation of that period, a summative review of the implementation of the plan revealed that the board had attained the commendable 84% of the strategic goals of that strategy. This could not have been possible with enormous support from the national government, specifically the National Treasury and Planning, Public Financial Management Reform Secretariat, the offices represented here today, all the county governments and other stakeholders. I therefore wish to take this opportunity to thank you all and to commend the board members and staff for this commendable achievement. But we cannot spend time glorying in the past or glorifying the past when we all know very well that greater challenges lie in the present and the future. To quote from the words of Thomas S. Monson, the past is behind, learn from it. The future is ahead, prepare for it. The present is here, live it. I am happy to note that the experiences learned from the implementation of the first strategic plan, including the successes, challenges, and lessons therefrom, have been taken into account in developing the second strategic plan and in laying out the objectives, the plans, and the activities that the board plans to undertake between now and 2025-2026. I further note that the strategic plan is informed by the government's development blueprints, such as the Kenya Vision 2030, Medium Term 3, I think we are now heading into Medium Term 4, the Big Four Agenda, the Constitution of Kenya, and of course, the Public Finance Management Act 2012. It is therefore not in a vacuum that we have laid down the various objectives, the strategies that are in that plan. But it is in the bigger agenda of ensuring that we play our role in realizing Kenya Vision 2030. The underlying values that will form the bedrock for not just the board, not just the members of staff, but all stakeholders that interact with us in the implementation of this strategic plan have already been well outlined by the CEO, and these include integrity, professionalism, teamwork, and collaboration, which is demonstrated very clearly in this room, responsiveness, transparency, and accountability. We will aim to continue to contribute better to public sector accountability by prescribing financial reporting and internal auditing standards and procedures, perhaps a little bit faster than we have done before. And we trust that ultimately these efforts will aid in establishing sound financial reporting and governance practices in public sector in Kenya. As has been observed by CPA Nancy Gathongo in the poll that was conducted earlier by the MC, almost all of you indicated that we are ready for accrual accounting. I have, together with my board, made a pledge that in the next 3 to 6 years, our main focus, and indeed the focus of all that has been outlined in this strategic plan, will be to ensure that we move all government organizations into accrual accounting. This journey is not easy, but we have already laid the groundwork, and we have support from all of you, as that poll has indicated. We had already set a tentative date of 1st July 2023 to start off, but we are consulting with the National Treasury because, of course, as you are aware, there are certain challenges that need to be addressed. But what we have agreed is whether there are challenges or not, we are going to start off on a phased approach. And we have discussed with organizations such as the Office of the Auditor General, who has indicated to us that our office is ready to start off setting the pace for some of these things. The common African adage says that if we want to move far, move with others. But if you want to move fast, move alone. The main reason we have invited here today is that we realize that we want to move far, and therefore we must move with each and every one of you in this room. Kindly, as has always happened, whenever we knock on your offices, please open the doors and cooperate with us as we engage in this journey of transforming public accountability in Kenya. The CEO indicated that one of the areas that we are strengthening is the area of monitoring the compliance through enhanced execution of monitoring evaluation for objectivity, enhanced compliance with accounting and financial reporting standards, and indeed auditing standards, while taking into consideration the various risks that were highlighted here by previous speakers. Ladies and gentlemen, to implement this second strategic plan over the next 5-year period, and although the plan is a 5-year plan, we are taking note that we are living in a very dynamic world, and we shall therefore have annual reviews of the strategic plan in order to appreciate the dynamism within the environment and adapt and flex where necessary. But in order for us to implement the plan over that 5-year period, we have estimated that the board will require approximately Kenya shillings 3.3 billion. I still believe in the books of the controller of budget that is still one talent, and that together with the Treasury, consideration will be made to ensure that that money is availed in order for us to achieve our key objectives. Due to constraint in resourcing, and while continuing to lobby the National Treasury for more financial resources, the board will not sit idle. It will try and invest the one talent as has been challenged in order to continuously to seek to implement other resource mobilization strategies as defined in the plan. Ladies and gentlemen, in developing the strategic plan that we are about to launch today, we received considerable support from a number of institutions, and all of you were involved. But allow me to acknowledge the significant contributions received from APSEA, KIPRA, and the World Bank in terms of getting where we are with the strategic plan. Let me also take this opportunity to once again thank the Secretariat team headed by FCP Riaga for the good work in developing the strategic plan. As you have heard, it is a small team of about 25, but they have a big heart. Finally, ladies and gentlemen, I salute each and every one of you for creating time to attend this launch. With those many remarks, it is now my singular honor to invite the representative of the Cabinet Secretary, National Treasury and Planning, Mr. Amos Njoroge Gadesha, to deliver his address and to launch the Public Sector Accounting Standards Board Second Strategic Plan 2021-2022, 2025-2026. Thank you. God bless you, and God bless Kenya.
Thank you very much, Chairman. I want to say from the onset that I'm an administrator. I'm not an accountant. And therefore, when I hear accrual accounting and cash basis accounting, I float, but I appreciate. So this is a speech by Ambassador Ukuri Yatani, the Cabinet Secretary, National Treasury and Planning, during the launch of a Public Sector Accounting Standards Board's Strategic Plan 2021-22, 2025-26 at this venue. The CS was meant to have traveled to Dakar today for another engagement, but it was canceled the last minute. But since he had already delegated to me, he told me, you go ahead, and he has sent his regards to all of you. The Auditor General, Madam Nancy Gadongo, the Controller of Budget, Madam Dr. Margaret Nyakango, the Chairman, Public Sector Accounting Standards Board, Mr. Pius Duati, representative of the Governor of Central Bank, the Chief Executive Officers for various public sector entities represented here today, board members of the Public Sector Accounting Standards Board present, and the Chief Executive Officer, Public Sector Accounting Standards Board, Mr. Riaga, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I am delighted to be part of this auspicious occasion for the launch of the 2021-22, 2025-26 Public Sector Accounting Standards Board Strategic Plan. I am glad to note that since inception, the Public Sector Accounting Standards Board has successfully implemented the inaugural strategic plan for the financial year 2015-2016, financial year 2020-21, in which tremendous strides were achieved. Key amongst them, the adoption of international accounting standards as issued by the standards setting bodies such as the International Public Sector Accounting Standards Board and the International Accounting Standards Board. Ladies and gentlemen, as you are aware, the National Treasury has a role to play in one, formulation and maintenance of government accounting standards and oversight over revenue. Two, development and enforcement of financial governance standards and oversight. Three, management of national and county governments' financial systems and standards. Four, development of Kenya as an international financial center. And lastly, acting as the custodian of national government assets and liabilities. All these can't be achieved without proper financial reporting, and it is worth noting that the Public Sector Accounting Standards Board has been a critical player in providing the much needed guidance in setting the accounting standards as well as prescribing the minimum requirements in maintenance of proper books of accounting by all levels of government. I have noted that the Public Sector Accounting Standards Board is cognizant of the policy handles in support of achievement of the third medium term MTP3, and therefore it aligned priority areas towards realization of these policy goals. The strategic plan that we are launching today aligns these policy goals, priority programs, and physical framework to support achievement of the objectives of the third medium-term plan and ultimately Vision 2030. The MTP3 calls for risk-based supervision and strengthening the regulatory framework within which public institutions implement and report on financial aspects. I am happy to note that this board has contributed positively towards this goal, broadly contributing to the national development agenda by setting accounting, internal audit standards and risk management. in all public sector entities. The application of these standards will lead to increased transparency and accountability, better relationships with development partners, effective assets management, and prudent liabilities management. Ladies and gentlemen, as you are aware, the National Treasury plays a role in building capacity of county governments on public finance management matters for efficient, effective, and transparent financial management, as well as planning, monitoring, and evaluation. In this regard, this board has laid notable strategies in their plan that will be critical in strengthening of the reporting institutions and sustainability through enhanced and user productivity and efficiency, leveraging on technology to improve operational efficiencies of the general public sector, and therefore entrenching good corporate governance and leadership practices. As I conclude, it is imperative that I talk about the emerging issues in sustainability reporting. With the Kenya government ratifying the Paris Agreement and subsequent enactment of the Climate Change Act, number 11 of 2016, and now the establishment of the International Sustainability Standards Board, I believe this board is well poised to take up the challenge of domesticating these standards as and when they are issued. This will improve on enterprise value and enhance information presented that is material to investor decisions and other participants in capital markets. These disclosures will make the Kenyan economy a more competitive investment destination, as it will provide a globally consistent and comparable sustainability reporting baseline, while providing flexibility for coordination on reporting requirements that capture wider sustainability impacts. I'm also aware of the need to transition public sector entities that are currently reporting on cash-basis accounting framework to accrual-based accounting framework. I have taken note that the board has laid down a roadmap towards the realization of this noble cause. I therefore reiterate the commitment of the National Treasury in support of this process. Finally, ladies and gentlemen, it is my sincere hope that the strategic plan that we are launching today will provide this board with a blueprint and necessary framework in executing its core mandate and tracking the performance of commitments against set targets. Thank you. Signed by Ambassador Ukur Yatani, Cabinet Secretary, National Treasury and Planning today. Thank you very much. I want to say that I have noted the comments from the chair on the challenges that the board is facing, and I'm going to brief my boss accordingly. As part of feedback, our take home for Treasury today. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you so much indeed. Makofi tafadhali. In absentia, the CS, and of course, Bwana Amos Njoroge Gadesha. And I'd kindly request once again, Bwana Gadesha, please come forward. Karibu sana. We want to launch the strategic plan in a dramatic manner. I'd kindly request also the presence of the chairman, Karibu sana. CEO, Karibu sana. We'll also have Auditor General, Controller of Budget, Karibu sana, and Board Member Pierre Edwin, Karibu sana. We're ready to launch, ladies and gentlemen. Those joining us virtually via NTV, this is the moment we are launching the strategic plan. Asante sana. Promoting accountability. Courtesy of the Public Sector Accounting Standards Board. Launch of the strategic plan 2021-2022 to 2025-2026. Tuko tayari? Ladies and gentlemen, we'll have a countdown. And at this particular moment, all right, we'll have a 5, countdown to 5. The baton is ready, setting up, getting ready to launch. And immediately after the launch, we focus on implementation. Okay, let's get ready, ladies and gentlemen. Ayah, that's right. Are we ready for the countdown? Okay, are we ready? Are we ready for the countdown? Okay. So ladies and gentlemen, I'd kindly request all of us to be upstanding, please. This is very important that we look at promoting accountability in the public sector. So let's have the countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Ladies and gentlemen, let's have the launch. Makofi tafadhali. Asante sana. We have the PSASB Strategic Plan 2021-2022. Let's have that ribbon cut. All right. 3, 2, 1, go. Makofi tafadhali. Asante sana. Wow. Makofi nyingine tafadhali. Well done. Asante sana. Excellent. Well done. It's time to get to the implementation of the strategic plan. Focus areas, standard setting research, stakeholders engagement and capacity building, monitoring compliance, and institutional strengthening and sustainability. Wow! Makofi nyingine tafadhali, well done. PSASB Strategic Plan 2021-2022 to 2025-2026. Let's have the first round of photographs. The first round of photos. Let's now have the first round of photographs. And now, ladies and gentlemen, after that first round of photos, we'll have the next one. I'd kindly request the board members to get ready. Board members taking the photos. They're all there. Thank you so much indeed. Next online, ladies and gentlemen, I'd kindly call upon Bwana David Wagasha, Mr. Felix Okach, CPA Dr. Caroline, CPA Caroline Makola, karibu sana for the photo. FCPA Wycliffe Shamaya, CPA Edwin Makori join the photo. Bwana Mbuno Yusuf, Controller of Budget, already there. And also CPA Jonah Wala, the National Treasury Director, Accounting Services. Karibuni sana as we take this photo. Naomba tafadhali kwa sasa muje hapa jukwaani, hapa juu kwenye jukwaa. Kindly come to the top dais here. Asante sana. Once we take that photo, let's allow our key guests to take the dais. Mje kwenye jukwaa tafadhali tuweze kupiga picha rasmi kwa pamoja. Shukran. Tupande juu tu. Haya, asanteni sana. Tupande kwenye jukwaa tafadhali. Karibuni, karibuni. Makofi yao tafadhali. Makofi yao tafadhali, asante sana. Excellent, excellent. Learning from the implementation of the first strategic plan, working with integrity, professionalism, teamwork, responsiveness, transparency, and accountability, moving together so that we can move far, living in a very dynamic world. Asante sana. Bwana Chairman, with your delegation, please come to the top dais. Naomba tuje hapa juu kwenye jukwaa tafadhali tuweze kupiga picha. Asante sana. Makofi yao tafadhali, makofi yao tafadhali. Asante sana, asante sana. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much indeed. So I'd kindly request the chief guest to take the front stand once again. But before that, we have the cake ready to be cut. It's the cake cutting session. Asante sana, launching the strategic plan in style. We have a cake on board. So I'd kindly request the presence of the chief guest, the CEO, and the chairman to please guide us in the cutting of the cake. So Bwana Chairman, karibu sana. Bwana CEO, chief guest, karibuni sana. Asante, tuweze kukata keki. Aya. Kweli. Aha. Aya. Aya, ladies and gentlemen, 3, 2, 1, makofi tafadhali wanapokata keki. Asante sana, well done. Aya, aya. Asante sana, well done. Kata. All right. Asante sana. All right, all right. Asante sana. And a gift for our chief guest, a gift of appreciation. Asante sana, we're coming to the close of the strategic plan launch. I want to celebrate the presence of all our participants who's joining us via NTV on the virtual platform, and here, asanteni sana kwa kuja. We have one more critical aspect of the event, so once the cake cutting session is over, I'd kindly request that we settle down so that we can close officially just as we started. Just as we started. Asanteni sana. Naomba wengine wetu tuweze kuketi ili tukaribie kumaliza kirasmi. We may kindly take our seats tafadhali. We can kindly take our seats. Thank you so much indeed. Naomba tuketi tafadhali. Tuweze kuketi ili tuweze kupata keki kwa njia taratibu. The Public Sector Accounting Standards Board promoting accountability. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want us to now appreciate our chief guest. We have a gift for him. The gift for him, and I'd kindly request Bwana Chair, Bwana Chairman, and Bwana CEO, please come forward to facilitate the giving of the gift to the chair, to the chief guest. Asante sana. Keki tutaendelea kidogo baadaye. Kwa sasa tunataka tumshukuru mgeni wetu wa heshima kwa kuja. Zawadi yake iko hapa. Asante sana. Naomba tafadhali kwa pamoja tuweze kumpigia makofi mgeni wetu wa heshima. Makofi yake tafadhali. Asante sana kwa wakati wako, kwa vile umeweza kujiunga nasi siku ya leo. Asante sana. Naam. Aha, hebu tutizame tuona. Makofi yake tafadhali. Asante sana. Thank you so much indeed. Thank you so much. Asante sana. Asante sana. Thank you so much. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's settle down as we close. Asante sana. Thank you so much. Eyes on the screen as we prepare for the vote of thanks. We were told about the biblical stories, and it was an honor serving you as the moderator. And I finish with this particular story that you all know. Eyes on the screen. eyes on the screen, for those who can see here, through the murky waters of life, imagine a world without standards. Imagine a life without standards, where everybody decides to do what they want. Murky waters, what do? You come, you do whatever you want to do. As long as you pass through the waters, you're okay. You move on. And another person comes in as well and does the same thing. So really, it's about myself and I, everyone doing their own thing. But wait. The story changes when this little boy comes on board. This boy comes and looks at the murky waters and decides, I'm not going to be like everybody else. I'm going to set standards. And this is what he does, ladies and gentlemen. In a little way, comes up with his own kind of standard. But you see what the difference is? These standards will be used by many others who will come after him. And in a way, touching generations, impacting generations. Ladies and gentlemen, as we celebrate the strategic plan, we're saying these are not just local standards, a plan, but they're global. And they will enable us as a country to impact generations, not only in Kenya, but the whole of Africa. So asanteni sana kwa kuja, and now to close for us, ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause to...
His career spanning over 25 years has included working for major brands such as the Capital Markets Authority, Deloitte Eastern Africa, Lonrho, Mitchell Coats and Exxon. He sits on the Council of Kenya's Institute of Certified Investment and Financial Analysts and is a pioneering committee member of the Africa Integrated Reporting Council. He is also a member of the Institute of Certified Public Accountants of Kenya. Please welcome Public Sector Accounting Standards Board member CPA Edwin Njamura.
I think Mwakazi must have been paid by someone. Good morning, everyone. Mr. Amos Njoroge, the rep for the CS National Treasury, the Auditor General, the Controller of Budget, my chairman, the CEOs present, my fellow board members, all protocols observed. Mine is very brief. It is just to say how well you are doing, what you have done to us to bring us to this point in our life. Let me start by thanking all of you. Okay, I'm told I can flex it. That's better now, right? Yeah, let me start by thanking all of you for coming. Imagine that every speaker since we started was speaking to an empty room. Probably from here, we'll need to send them to see someone special to examine them, correct? But because you are there and you are here, you made a difference. Can you please turn to your neighbor and tell them thank you on my behalf? The next very special team I want to recognize, and we often tend to forget them, is our media people. Because without a voice, we would be speaking again to ourselves. We need to be able to pass our message to the relevant people, and they are very, very helpful. We want to recognize them, right? Please, a clap to them. The National Treasury, through the CS, and Mr. Wahom Njoroge is here just to hear this. Without the support of the National Treasury, we would have struggled at the Public Sector Accounting Standards Board. We would have very, very struggled. But with the help, not just money, counseling words of advice, the company, they're working together. We have walked this journey. And please, when you get back to the office, pass our regards to the CS and tell him we really, really appreciate the work and the support he has given to us, together with the rest of the team at the National Treasury. Madam Auditor General, and I'm trying to look for the correct words because I must find the appropriate words. Many of us may not know the supernormal work this lady has done to support the board. Quietly, but surely. And I liked what her team did when she was coming to speak to us. You saw what you saw what they did? Did you see what they did? Let me tell you, some people may not have the very tall stature, but they are very tall in what they do. And I mean it. We have experienced her support unceasingly. Madam Auditor General, we are very, very grateful. She is able to speak to forums where you and I are not. And she is listened. And she is able to say, hey, this board needs to be supported. And we have seen the impact of that. I can't say more than that. Madam Nyakango, the controller of budget, we value you. Your office, challenging us on some of those standards or templates that we issue, giving us feedback on our strategic plan, very, very useful. And I was just mentioning to her offline that I have learned something today. She is an issue of talent. Only that she has challenges of getting accountability for those talents. But she has assured me that with the help of our sister, the Auditor General, that gap is covered. The CEO ISPAC, on behalf of your members, we cannot execute the mandate of the board if your members, the members of ISPAC, are not with us, because those are our hands and tools and, out there. Those are the executors of the tools that we roll out. Please, when you meet them, tell them the board values them. And thank you for supporting us. The chairman, and before I go to the chairman, allow me to recognize the CEO and the small team at the Secretariat. Where are you? Those ones who are here? I'm sure a few of them are here. CEO and the Secretariat team, the ones who are here, please, can you stand up? We see you. Those are the members of our staff. And these people have spent hours on end to be able to get us through the process of developing the strategic plan. They have given us the support, they have given us their thoughts. They are worth every shilling they are paid. So thank you very much, and keep up the good work, and may the Lord bless you. Finally, and not the least, the chairman and your board. I think someone already said, please keep on doing what you do. And thank you very much. Okay? I think Mr. Mwakazi, I've done my job. I've appreciated everyone. And in case I've missed you, please consider yourself as thanked and appreciated by me on behalf of the board. Asante sana.
Well, thank you so much indeed. We've come to the end of the launch program. Asanteni sana. You are free to leave at your pleasure, but of course get to know somebody, network, engage. God bless you. God bless Kenya. See you at work.
Oh, na 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 na. Oh, I love you, baby. Uko na tabia za kupendeza roho, tabasamu ya kupapasa macho, sauti yako nikisikia pia natulia, yani punguzia hasira nazo. Urembo wako ulininasa roho, siku ya kwanza kukuona kwa macho, sa moyoni umekomia, siwezi kutania, njoo unipunguzie mawazo. And I feel you in my air when I breathe, I see you in my dreams when I sleep. You're the one I've been waiting for all my life.
With me joined here is the CEO of the Public Sector Accounting Standard Board, Frederick Riaga, and they have just launched their second launch of the sustainable sectors. So my question is, how would you describe your first term in the project?
Thank you very much. The first term strategic plan, 2014-2015 to 2020-21 went very well. As it has been reported, we achieved 84% of the strategic objectives that were laid in it. And the benefits of that strategy have started or have materialized within the economy. When we see the quality of financial reporting improving by the day. When we began in 2013, the number of disclaimer of audit opinions and advanced opinions and qualified opinions was way above the roof. Progressively, we have seen quality in terms of the quality financial reporting coming through. We have seen reduction in the number of disclaimers and advanced audit opinions, and we're seeing more of qualified opinions and an increase in the number of clean audit opinions that public sector institutions are obtaining from the Office of the Auditor General. So by and large, that is a measure of success of the first strategy. Point number two, we have also seen improvements in the systems around internal audit. Internal audit is better capacitated now. They have the tools necessary for them to undertake the internal reviews in a more responsive manner. Then equally, we saw the introduction of the risk management, which was a project started then, and we hope to conclude it under the second strategy.
So you're talking about moving from cash to accrual accounting. How are there resources to facilitate that change? Are we there to move to that transition? Is there a way that we can move?
I think the greatest resource that we can tap into is the willingness and the desire to move. With the willingness, we can then source resources from whichever quarters and innovatively find ways of funding that project. Let's be clear. It's not that the entire public sector is not on accrual accounting. We have parastatals, we have sagas, we have primary schools, we have universities, all of which are already reporting on accrual accounting. The only major component of public sector, which is the general government, that we are having discussions with the National Treasury for purposes of working a mechanism to fast-track that process, is the MDAs, and that is the ministries, departments, and agencies. There are steps that have already been taken to ready ourselves for the move. As it's been mentioned, the board has has ratified a date of 1st of July 2023. We are working towards attaining that by collaborative engagements with the National Treasury to ensure that whatever resources and systems are better configured so that the accrual projects come to fruition.
Okay, so one of your key focuses is monitoring compliance, yeah?
Yes.
And you've talked about having an annual review of the strategic plan.
Mm-hmm.
How feasible is this?
It's fairly feasible. Let's disaggregate those two. Let's split them. When we talk of monitoring and compliance, we are talking of monitoring and compliance of the standards, implementation of the standards. So the board has prescribed the standards, has laid out the reporting templates. So we move out to check to what extent are the reporting accountants adopting or implementing those standards. So that is the extent to which then we would be talking about monitoring as envisaged within the document. The second level of monitoring is now the actual monitoring of implementations of the various strategic objectives that we have set out within the document, which happens quarterly, which happens semi-annually, and happens annually. We do quarterly monitoring of how well we are doing with the implementation of the strategy, so that if there are any deviations in terms of against the expected targets, then we effect corrective measures to ensure that we maintain a more realistic outlook of what the board ought to do.
Okay. With the election coming up, there is going to be change in leadership in the government, yeah? Will this affect the planned programs that you guys have?
One thing for sure, the coming of the elections do not defer constitutionalism. That does not defer the desire to live by the laws and regulations of the land. So in as far as reporting is concerned, the reporting timelines are in place, so that will not, it will slow down the process at policy level, but at administrative and reporting level, I do not see any impact. And I guess as a country we have had institutions in place. The National Treasury is fairly robust. The Office of the Control of Budget have her systems running. The Office of the Auditor General has her people and the systems that have established running to ensure that the wheel of financial reporting carries on irrespective of the stage we are with our electoral processes.
So there is an issue on us surpassing the debt ceiling. Do you think it's an issue with the management of the funds? What is happening in that sector?
I don't think we have surpassed the debt ceiling. Remember in the recent past, the National Treasury presented a request to Parliament to approve extension of the debt ceiling.
Yeah.
If you look at the reported debt figures, we were still within the permitted 9 trillion shillings. What is going to happen is now with the extension, we are then creating slight room just to secure the fiscal space so that the economy continues running, not that we have surpassed the debt ceiling.
Okay, thank you so much. My name is Gertrude. Yeah. Thank you so much for, I was with the CEO. Thank you. I'm Gertrude.